got connected to Clementi Song's foundation, I accepted to come. Now, even if I didn't have those two reasons to come, seeing your wonderful faces have encouraged me, and have made me to nod that I made a good choice. Put your hands together for yourself. Let me come down a little. I will come up here again. You are gathered here today for Akwa Ibom State Summit on agroecology and food system. The mention of food is endearing, especially with the high cost of things now. I don't know what the discussions will look like, but I'm interested in food. Just like I'm interested in school system or education system or cultural systems or political systems. I'm very interested in them. So it's a privilege for me to square up today against food system. I'm sure, sir, you have a family. You know what food has done to you in the past 1 year. And if you didn't come for this meeting, I would have been disappointed. Ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome. Put your hands together again for coming for this wonderful event. And at this juncture, before we get going, may I humbly request that we stand for the national anthem.
Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace all battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build our nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may. Let us rise up, Akwa State, to the faith of greatness. Oh, Akwa Ibom, let our dreams be ever one. Rise beyond ethnicity, build with love our promised land. Forward ever, backward never, serve the land in unity and love. God of mercy, hear our plea. Make our land a place to be. Let the warlike sheep be sword, still all vices in the land. Grant your rule, O Prince of Peace, that our state may ever be peaceful ever, warring never. Let your will, O God, forever reign.
Put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, as we take your seats. Each time I listen to the national anthem, all the three stanzas, I can't but pray that we would live in a time to realize the wishes, the aspirations, the prophecies inherent in the national anthem. Because if you compare the wordings of that national anthem to what obtains in Nigeria today, it's a very ugly irony. But we keep hoping and trusting that we would have a nation that that anthem truly represents. Say amen. Say amen. You don't believe in that prayer for your country? 1st October is soon approaching, and the national anthem will be blaring forth from all media houses, and the flags will be hoisted to full mast. And I pray that God will hear the prayers of our anthem and cause Nigeria to live its name as it should be. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a lot of representations here participating in this conference, and I'm just going to list them, and at appropriate time, they would be given the time for goodwill messages and whatever else they have to offer. We have representatives from academic/research institutes. Put your hands together for them. Thank you. We have food and agri organizations. Put your hands together for them. We have agricultural cooperatives. Put your hands for them. We have CSOs. We have Activista. We have SPA2 community farmers, and we have the media. Also, ministries have been invited to this conference. They include, but perhaps not limited to the following: agriculture and rural development. We have the SSG, we have the Budget Office, Accountant General Office, Environment and Mineral Resources, Youth and Sports, Akwa Ibom State Agricultural Development Program, ACADEP. We have SMEDAN, and we have the Ministry of Women Affairs, among others. We have AKICOP, Akwa Ibom Investment Corporation. They have been given a special invitation to attend this conference, and we look forward to receiving them and hearing from them. For now, it is my pleasure to invite Elkanah Oluyori, the Director of Clement Isong Foundation, CIF, to come make his welcome address. Put your hands together for Elkanah. Elkanah, you are welcome.
Thank you, sir. It's been a long time since a professor of 21 years has handed me a mic to make a welcome address. Please help me celebrate Professor Effiong Johnson for making a history for me. It's a pleasure for us to be here. I want to celebrate everyone who had decided to, where necessary, even forgo some of their busy schedules and join us this morning. I can see, as at this time, we already have the seats all filled up, and that shows that the culture of time in Africa is improving. Is that true of us? So ask your neighbor for me. Is it true with you? Did you come as early as you were supposed to? Help me ask your neighbor. All right, what did they say? Okay, almost true. All right, we're getting there. Like I tell my team, for the most part, sometimes when we desire change, what we should actually desire is progress, because it could be difficult to achieve complete transformation, but we can always achieve progress. I'm happy that we're here today, and no other organization would have made it possible for us to have converged today to discuss a critical topic like agroecology and the food system than Action Aid Nigeria. Can you please help me give a round of applause to Action Aid Nigeria, who had made it possible through funding from Danida for us to be able to have this conversation. And like you have seen from the quality of guests that are here, this is a high-level stakeholder event. If the governor were not too busy, he should have found himself here. But you understand what is happening in the state. It is the 37-year anniversary that we are having. And this project, this event is necessary based on the project that we are currently doing with ActionAid, which is the Strategic Partnership Agreement, which commenced in 2022 and will be wrapping up in 2025. But in our mind, we're now wishing 2025 does not come, but we hope that there could be more things that we get to do with them beyond this activity. And the project is more about ensuring that we improve and give access to the fundamental rights of people, the democratic rights of people are accessible to them. And for the most part, people who are marginalized and with focus on women. And that's why if you look around, you see a lot of women, and we have women leading the team in most of the things that we do, because we believe that valor has no gender and has no color. So agroecology is a critical conversation that we should be having, considering the level of challenge that we face, which includes land, soil degradation, access to even financing, and of course, the inevitable one, which is climate change. And like Mahatma Gandhi said, he said, the land, the earth has enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. There's enough for everyone's need, but not enough for everyone's greed. And so it is important that as we explore our capacity to provide nutrition for ourselves, we know that we're actually, when we borrowed the earth, not from our ancestor, but from our predecessors, from people, from our children, from the next generation. So we are loaning this earth from them. So the process by which we cultivate our food, everything we do must respect the fact that we are renting this space, and we must leave it better than we met it. And that's why there will be a lot of conversations here. We have very powerful keynote people, facilitators from the ActionAid team who will be doing justice to this conversation. So if by any chance you are sent here to represent a delegate and you don't even get to understand what the conversation is, I want to tell you to be rest assured that you're going to leave here full with knowledge. Tell your neighbor for me, you're going to leave here full with knowledge on food. And we'll do the most part to also make sure that you don't just hear so much about food and don't go with anything. We'll do our best to make sure that the food system starts from here. And the stomach infrastructure, like they say, if you do every kind of infrastructure and you don't address the stomach infrastructure, that will be a lot of challenge. I would not drop this mic without giving a very warm regard to my board of, the chairman of the board of trustees, which is in person of Professor Akwa Ibom, who had made it possible for us to run with very seamless efforts and make things flow with beautiful, supportive supervision. He's a man of caliber, and we are so happy to represent him in different capacities as an organization. And he's not here in person, but I can assure you, if he has his way, he will be here. He's always at several of our events. The last event we had, he was the one doing what I am doing, this welcome remark. So I welcome you to the Akwa Ibom State Summit on agroecology and food system. But one thing I always want to tell people is that for the most part, it's not what we have not heard before. It is not what we have not known before. It's always about what we have not done with what we have always heard. So the idea for a summit like this is more action. and more action from every stakeholder, from the Ministry of Finance, that there are budget allocations that address concerns like this, from the economic planning, that the plan of the states, the fiscal planning of the states look in the direction of things like this. From the farmers themselves, that they adopt sustainable practices, practices that allow that land can be used appropriately, so much that we can benefit the most from it as a state, so that young people and every one of us can feed, and we can have so much to even export. Because if whatever you do does not contribute to the GDP of the state, or ensure that our foreign reserve is increased, and that our balance of trade is not a deficit, then for the most part, you're just in the marketplace, but you're not trading. You know, when you come to the marketplace, you either come to buy or to sell. Like someone said, if you're in the marketplace and you're not buying or selling, you're playing. And only children go to the marketplace to play. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope that you would pay attention and you would give your best inputs to making sure that we have the best Akwa Ibom State Summit ever. Thank you.
Is that the best you can do to Elkanah for that wonderful welcome address? I've not listened to a welcome address that comprehensive. Thank you, Elkanah. Yes, we have come to listen to conversations, and we will be involved in the conversations. Permit me to use my professional capacity as a statist to appreciate this wonderful stage. Feels like you should come and stand here. Looks beautiful and attractive. You were passing by and I saw it, I would stop over. That's the idea. Just attractive on its own. Look at the colors. Agroecology and food systems. And I just don't know why food system was given a dangerous background. Agroecology is given a green background. I can understand Action Aid for a red background, but I'm just being curious about food system occupying a very dangerous background. I think the people must have keyed into times to chronicle it as such. And then Action Aid, you are the next to come and give some information, some remark, and I'd like to call on Judith Bagidi, the Program Manager, Governance Action Aid Nigeria. Put your hands together for Judith. Did I pronounce your name well, Bagidi? Hello, Judith. Did I pronounce your name well?
Yes, you did.
Good, thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I was saying to somebody that it looks like you were not happy today. When the anchor asked to clap, people were not clapping. And now I've said good morning, and the response is not. The energy in the room is very low, and I hope all is well. Please, we need some energy. Good morning, everyone. Okay, my name is Blessing Ifemenam. Judith is not here. She's unavoidably absent. I work for Action Aid Nigeria. And I bring greetings from the management of Action Aid Nigeria. I'm not presenting yet. Yeah. So Action Aid is an international non-governmental organization, and we work in almost the 36 states of Nigeria, including the FCT. Part of the program we're doing today is our partnership that we have with the Clement Isong Foundation. So let me just take the remark because I'll still come back here for another presentation. Okay, before I continue, I would like to welcome the representative from the Ministry of Agric, the Director of Youth and Sports, the HOD Agric College of Education, and HOD Crop Science Faculty of Agric, and also the representative from Budget Office. We welcome you, and we thank you for making our time to be part of this conversation. Thank you, everyone, for coming. It is a great honor to welcome you to the Akwa Ibom State Summit on Agroecology and Food Systems, which is organized by Clement Insong Foundation Action Aid Nigeria partner in collaboration with Akwa Ibom State Ministry of Agric and Rural Development and other partners, as you saw outside on the banner. The Strategic Partnership Agreement, this activity today is a component of the Strategic Partnership Agreement project, which is funded by Danish International Development Agency, focused on empowering young people, especially young women, for sustainable livelihood and resilience. The project is supporting young people through the practice of climate-resilient sustainable agriculture, which is agroecology, is a climate-resilient sustainable agriculture approach that incorporates ecological practices into farming, ecological principles into farming practices. It emphasizes the sustainable management of natural resources, biodiversity, and the local environment, while also highlighting the interactions between plants, animals, humans, and the environment within agricultural systems. This approach involves working with natural processes to create resilient, productive, and sustainable agricultural ecosystem. In Nigeria, agroecology has the potential to address many of the challenges facing the country's agricultural sector. However, there are several challenges that need to be addressed to promote the widespread adoption of agroecology practices in Nigeria. One of the challenges is the lack of access to resources and support, especially to the farmers who practice this sustainable means of farming. Many small-scale farmers do not have access to the necessary inputs, such as organic fertilizers. Most times, what we see people using is the inorganic fertilizers. We're also going to have a robust conversation and presentation around that. Our objective for today is very simple. It's to bring together stakeholders from the public and private sector, farmers association, young people's movement to promote agroecology. This is aimed at strengthening the integration of agroecology into government extension services in the state. Additionally, this platform is to advocate for more funding in agroecology, aiming to increase government political support and budgetary allocations in Akwa Ibom State. As we participate in all the sections today, we encourage the government to support sustainable models for food systems. Because if you look at what is happening in Nigeria today, there is hunger in the land. I don't know if that hunger has reached Akwa Ibom State. Has it reached here? It doesn't look like, because everybody is actually glowing. And everybody is glowing. That hunger have not reached here. But the truth is that the food systems need to be transformed. There is food insecurity. Some of the farmers can't even go to their farms anymore. So we want a sustainable food system. So when we talk about governments need to support sustainable models for food systems, such as agroecological production, owned and led by local communities because they are actually the farmers there. These are alternative models for producing, processing, and distributing food that reduce greenhouse gas emission. Agriculture is also one of the agricultural practices that contributes highly to pollution. True or false? True. So, but when we advocate for agroecology, you see that we are talking about reducing the green gas emission that come out from what you do on the environment that affects the overall being of the environment. So we are also talking and asking that these processes will enhance biodiversity, respect traditional practices, those traditional practices that even before some of us were born, that our forefathers inculcated, respect them and promote equity and improve working conditions in managing natural resources. Support for the facilitation of agroecology will drive wider adoption, scale to millions of farmers, and accelerate the transition to sustainable agricultural practices. On behalf of Action Aid Nigeria, I wish you a successful summit. Thank you.
Thank you, Blessing. Put your hands better than that for Blessing for that wonderful brief. Blessing, I'm sorry, I wasn't given your real name, so I read the program as it was. I referred to you as Judith, whereas you are Blessing Ifemenam. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we want to listen to a message from the Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, Akwa Ibom State, who is here represented by Mr. Emmanuel Ekanem. Mr. Emmanuel Ekanem is representing the Honorable Commissioner for Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Where is Emmanuel? Please put your hands together for